Leon Kennedy was just a rookie, young, inexperienced, still carrying that quiet belief that being a police officer meant saving people. But as he drove closer to Raccoon City, something felt wrong. The roads were almost empty. The silence was too heavy, and the closer he got, the more it felt like the city was no longer waiting for him. It was warning him. A normal first day should have started with paperwork, a handshake, maybe a few jokes from senior officers. But Leon's first day started with blood on the floor, a dead man behind the counter, and something moving in the shadows. At first, it looked like a simple stop. A gas station on the edge of town, the kind of place you pass by without thinking. But inside, Leon found the first sign that everything had gone wrong. A police officer was wounded, a civilian was missing, and from the back room came sounds no normal person should make. Leon stepped deeper inside, not because he was ready, but because someone needed help. That's the kind of person Leon was. Even when fear was right in front of him, he still moved forward. But what he found was not a criminal, not a drunk, not a man needing medical attention. It was something else. A person whose body was still moving, but whose humanity was already gone. Leon raised his gun. His hands were steady enough, but his mind was trying to understand what his eyes were seeing. This thing looked human. It moved like a person, but it didn't stop. It didn't listen. It didn't feel pain the way a person should. And when it attacked, Leon had no choice. He fired, one shot, then another. But the creature kept coming. That was the moment Leon realized something terrifying. This was not one random attack. This was not an isolated incident. This was the beginning of something much worse. Outside the gas station, Leon met someone else trying to survive, Claire Redfield. She wasn't a cop. She wasn't trained for this. But just like Leon, she had walked straight into a nightmare. Two strangers, one rookie officer, one young woman searching for her brother, both trapped in a city that was falling apart around them. For a brief moment, they were not alone. And sometimes, in horror, that's enough to keep moving. But Raccoon City didn't give them time to understand what was happening. The dead were everywhere, coming from the streets, crawling from the darkness, surrounding them from every direction. So Leon and Claire ran. Not because they were cowards, but because survival had become the only mission left. Inside the police car, there was still a small piece of hope. Maybe the police station was safe. Maybe there were survivors. Maybe someone had answers. But as they entered the city, that hope started to disappear. Raccoon City was no longer a city. It was chaos. Fires burned in the streets. Cars were abandoned in the road. Bodies were scattered everywhere. And the dead were no longer staying dead.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon looked at the destruction around him, and you can almost feel the question in his silence. How did this happen? How did an entire city fall this fast? But before he could find the answer, disaster struck again. A truck came crashing through the street, out of control, unstoppable. Leon and Claire had only seconds to react.
Get out now! Hold on!
The impact separated them. Flames exploded between them, and just like that, the only person Leon knew in this nightmare was on the other side of the fire. They shouted to each other, both alive, but trapped on opposite paths. Claire had to find her own way. Leon had to find his. The plan was simple: get to the police station, survive, find answers. But in Raccoon City, simple plans don't survive for long. Leon moved through the burning streets alone. Every corner felt dangerous, every shadow felt alive. The city was screaming around him, sirens in the distance, zombies in the alleys, fire lighting up the streets like the whole world was ending. And through it all, Leon kept moving. Not because he understood what was happening, not because he was fearless, but because he had no other choice. He was a rookie, walking into a disaster that even experienced officers couldn't survive. And the worst part? This was only the beginning. Leon came to Raccoon City to become a police officer. But the city didn't need a rookie. It needed a survivor. And as he stepped into the dark halls of the RPD, one thing became clear. The city outside was already dead, but inside the police station, something much worse was waiting.
There has to be someone here. Not good.
David! Marvin! You there? I found a way out! It's in here! Send reinforcements! East, turn away!
I gotta find that guy.